Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.
Welcome to all.
History is made of stories.
In this episode, we'll be talking about the differences between having the potential to stand out and being outstanding.
Does performance mean potential? Is potential contingent on performance? Does having potential lead to high potential?
Are high potentials always top performers? Finding the answers to these questions can be a minefield for managers. So, what's the story?
Let's start by drawing a line that often goes overlooked. Having potential and being a high potential are two different things, even though you have little chance of being seen as a high potential if you have no potential. It's also confusing.
Potential always means looking ahead, whereas performance means looking back.
Potential is linked to future capabilities. But what sort of capabilities? Capabilities in the sense of skills or in terms of being able to take on more responsibilities.
Skills development doesn't necessarily lead to improved performance. There are so many other factors at play in transitioning from skills to results to performance.
Having potential means being seen as having future capabilities, even if you haven't demonstrated those capabilities yet. It's the promise of capabilities identified by targeting certain traits.
That leads us to a concept that looks simple on paper but is complex in nature. There are combinations of skills that develop of their own accord.
Personality traits like curiosity, open-mindedness, and an ability to challenge yourself are sure signs of someone with the potential to improve their technical skills through a form of reflective practice.
Right. And the skills we're talking about are not just the ones a person uses in their current job. It can be helpful to also look at skills they developed in a previous position, or even outside the workplace. Those skills are not required in their current job, but they provide a potential they could tap in other situations.
So, why talk about the two concepts together? Because being a high potential employee means having the potential to take on more responsibility, even at a much higher level, possibly in senior management.
Still, it's clear that having potential, in the sense of future capabilities, is not the same as being a high potential that also demands other characteristics crucial to achieving results, starting with motivation and commitment.
To work out whether a person has the potential to take on more responsibilities, we need to gauge their potential in terms of skills and an ability to turn those skills into performance.
That's why many companies use the 9-box talent matrix or 9-box grid, developed by General Electric and McKinsey in the 1970s, which cross-references potential with performance to identify tomorrow's talent pool.
That talent pool is made up of people with high potential, even though everyone has the potential to improve at least a little.
To recap, potential suggests future capability, but potential alone is no guarantee of an ability to take on more responsibility. People with potential also need to demonstrate commitment and an ability to turn their skills into results, which can be appraised through consistent performance, which is why we need to measure potential and performance to determine whether a person has high potential. Is that right?
Exactly right. Way to make a long story short.
Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.